Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Continuing on, as always, watching out for those surprise creepers. We appear to be in an okay situation here. Wolf, I know Wolfie, we want to get going. Let's grab him and continue west. Wolf, indeed. So, continuing on. A quick update. We raised a little bit more money for Child's Play charity. We're up to $2,401.10. That's 8% of the way to our goal of $29,220. So that's amazing. Thank you, everybody who continues contributing. And like I said, you can do so over at farlandsorbust.com. But also, I feel like the last few episodes, handful of episodes, I've kind of lost track of what I'm actually doing here in Far Lands or Bust. I know, it's crazy, Wolfie. But I just the other night, for some reason, I kind of just thought of it, how, like, the actual concept of the series. Obviously, I'm doing other series, like Castaway, and now I just, for those of you who might have missed it, I uploaded a new Let's Play series of Driver San Francisco, and I got the Kerbal Space program I'm getting back into, and all these other Let's Play series. But this one in particular, my main channel focus, we are walking to the Far Lands in Minecraft, the edge of the map, some 12.5 million blocks away from the spawn, and so far, we've reached it's a measurable distance we've reached. We're probably over 3% now. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Underground bridge, or underwater bridge. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of like stopped and thought about that. I'm like, that's really quite crazy. As far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know, I'm the only person doing this with any sort of success. Wolfie, there he is. And I know I've gotten messages from other people, other YouTubers, saying, "Do you mind if I start kind of a Far Lands expedition series?" And I'm like, "That's fine. I don't own the rights to the idea of walking to the Far Lands, but so far I haven't seen too many people keep up with it. Maybe they've started a couple episodes and then they've stopped, or you just never hear from them again, or whatever. But I just wanted to kind of step back a little bit, and that just it's just kind of crazy to me, isn't it? I don't know. It just seems crazy to me, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's it's kind of cool. Obviously, we're still here. A lot of people always keep asking in all the video comments, what version of Minecraft is he using? He doesn't have the hunger bar. Yes, this is 1.7.3, because that's the last version that the Far Lands actually existed, so that's why I'm here. But it's a crazy concept. I'm glad that it's having some success here, that we have our companion, Wolfie McWolfington, Esquire the Third Jr., and oh, I thought this might have been a spawner, but no. But yeah, that's crazy. Just think about that. Wow. Anyway, yes, I guess that's what happens when you pass certain milestones, 25,000 subscribers and whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, continuing on. What else was I going to talk about today? Let's take a look at this kind of cool landscape here. Neat indeed. I was going to take a little bit of a break this episode from answering the user questions. I think that might have been some of the reason, not to blame anybody, but that might have been some of the reason. I was just kind of concerned about getting through all these user questions, and I still have quite a few to get through, and keep them coming in the comments if you have any interesting questions you'd like to ask. But I wanted to kind of not so much respond, but just kind of have my own take on a topic that was brought up by another Minecrafter, none other than BOO. All of you know BOO from Good's videos, and he's on the Mindcrack server, and he's just a hilarious. I'm very I'm fine with accepting the fact that he is much funnier than I am. Just getting that out there. He's just like kind of a natural comedian. But anyway, one of his recent building with BOO, I think it was episode 134. He kind of was talking quite a bit about his job, whether or not it be job satisfaction and stuff like that, and career satisfaction and being happy with what you're doing, etc. And I feel like I have to kind of comment on my own side of it, because that has been kind of a theme of Far Lands or Bust for quite a while. And I'm not necessarily rebuking or having a different opinion. I agree with everything he said in that episode, and certainly check that episode out and listen to what he has to say. But I just have my own experience, I guess, behind it. I guess I can give a little bit of background for my new subscribers. Back in July of 2011, I quit my job. It was a full-time job I had for over 5 years. I was a web and graphic designer. I went to art school. I didn't particularly go to school for graphic or web design. I taught that to myself on my own time, and it was just a skill I picked up, and I got good enough where I got a full-time job, and the rest is history. But yeah, it's just because I wasn't happy with it. It was actually just really draining to me for the longest time. I mean, and I can admit this now, on the first day of work, I'm like, I should quit this. I don't like this. This isn't what I want to do. This isn't, something that's going to make me happy. But 5 years later, and I still had the same thought in my head. But yeah, I just wanted to respond because in B00's video, he was saying he's a general contractor, and he was saying how he really doesn't like his job at all. From what I remember of earlier episodes, it's like a family business he's in or whatever. I'm not pretending like I know his situation or anything, but he's not happy with it. As a general contractor, they have a bad rap. They get no respect from clients and things like that. They always, people are always, oh, the general contractors are trying to rip me off, things like that. So he doesn't like that aspect of it, and whatever. And he was just kind of B00 was going on about, there's kind of the myth that, when you're going to college or in high school and you're trying to figure out what you want to do for a career, you have to figure out what makes you happy. And it's kind of, yeah, you can do that, but in the real world, that it always doesn't work out that way. I mean, obviously, I'm sure each one of you knows at least 1 or 10 people who aren't happy in their jobs. For whatever reason, they have to keep it for money, for their families, or maybe it's a situation where somebody's perfectly happy having a crappy job, but they get their satisfaction after work, with a hobby, or maybe their main focus is their family. That's something they get joy from or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of it's been a common theme in what I've been talking about in Far Lands or Bust, because it was to the point. I guess I'm not one of those people who can have a hobby on the side and be happy with that or something like that. Like the thing I do day in and day out, I just feel like that has to have some sort of, not necessarily define me as a person, but it has to, get me up every morning, looking forward to the day, otherwise what's the point, in my opinion. And like I say, everybody's has different. Careful, Wolfie. I knew you were going to do that. I gotta feed you. Bing. Woof. So yeah, I mean, B00 was just going on that, and he was also, one of his other big points was that there's no such thing as easy money, that you always have to work hard and for your money and stuff like that. And I agree with that, but I also wanted to kind of add on to that it's not necessarily, for me, and perhaps for a lot of other people, it's not necessarily about the money. Certainly you need, in today's society, you need money to survive and have a roof over your head and food on your plate and stuff like that. But it just depends on how much money you might want or you might need. And in terms of the job I had as a web designer, I could say that was die pig. That was easy money for me, because I was at a place where I was the person who knew the most about web design and what he was doing. So they kind of treated me as like the head graphic designer. So I got paid, a decent amount of money. Certainly not what I probably, I don't want to say should have. I don't think I expect. I'm not do anything, but for having a bachelor's degree and experience, I certainly somewhere else or in another situation probably should have been making more money. But I was making enough money, and I could have stayed there another 5-10 years and continued to put savings and put stuff away in retirement and stuff like that. But just being there day in and day out was just depressing, to put it in any sort of simple terms, And a lot of people comment on my early Far Lands or Bust videos how I was kind of shy and very quiet. I wonder how much of that had to do with the fact that I was just in a bad mood all the time. I was just kind of what, you have to get up to do this, the Minecraft and stuff. Obviously, I was trying to get a little bit better at doing the commentaries and more active in my voice So that was part of it, but it just, now that I'm out of there, I'm actually focusing on doing things that I enjoy, focusing on kind of giving back to... Hold on, I gotta... I'm getting so... Oh, it's just a big topic. I gotta talk about it. I gotta make my hidey hole here and sleep through the night before things start to try to kill me. Boop, boop, and boop, and a boop. And the weird jitteriness. Let me get my bed. I probably don't even need a torch here. Let me see. And sleepiness. And awakeness. Yeah, I don't even need a torch. I'll be saving torches on these elevated hidey holes. Let's continue, Wolfie. But yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I basically, at that job, I didn't feel like... it might sound a little bit narcissistic or, you know, like, ooh, me. But one of the biggest reasons I didn't like the job is I didn't feel like I was really... what's the word I'm looking for? I really wasn't contributing to society or have any sort of like worth to the world, you know? Like I was, okay, I'm a web designer. I'm designing websites for these companies, and the sole purpose of these websites is for marketing and to get more profits and more monies for these companies, and that was like the end result. Like that is the goal of being a web designer professionally. And, you know, I guess in a more abstract sense, for making money for the company I was working for. You know, I got, you know, when you look at my salary, maybe I don't know, I'm just making this up off the top of my head. Maybe I made, you know, $20 an hour or whatever. I think that's actually probably more than I was making. But yeah, and then, you know, the web design company I worked for turned around and charged the clients $75 or $100 an hour. So yeah, there was no, I guess, overall point to the work I was doing that I felt comfortable with. Other than, you know, the sole purpose of why I was existing was to get more money for these companies, these clients, for my own company I was working for, and then for myself, so I could, like I said, feed myself and have a roof over my house. But I felt like I wanted to do something, and that's why I was initially looking at like going into the sciences. Obviously, you know, I'm into astronomy. I was into geology, was something I was looking at, and for quite a while there, even before I quit my job, I was looking at schools and certain programs that I could get into. And I haven't gone into that. One of the main reasons is money. It would cost quite a bit of money for tuition for both. Oh, this looks suspicious. Very suspicious. Oh, well, maybe not. Oh, although there does sound like there's some sort of caves under there. Woof, I know. But yeah, I could, in terms of the money, in terms of tuition and, you know, going to grad school is something you'd have to do if you're going to go into the science, at least grad school, and maybe even you have to get a PhD. But yeah, that just didn't work out. It's still something on my radar and something I still could possibly do in the future. And that would certainly, to me, feel like I'm giving back to society. Say if I'm not the one, perhaps I'm not the one making the giant scientific discoveries. Maybe I'm just at least contributing, or I'm helping spread the word or educate people. That's why I really respect kind of the jobs that people like Dr. Phil Plait has, where he's a blogger. He was a professional scientist. He worked on the Hubble program and other professional astronomy things, but now he's a science blogger, a news, you know, he's spreading the word about science and findings and things like that to the public. Like that's a profession I could see myself being satisfied with. But anyway, I digress. Where was I going? I'm digressing all over the place. The keyboard is just covered in digressions. But sorry. What was I saying? Oh, the YouTubes. Then this YouTube thing came along, and I'm certainly, as you know, I think there's more ocean over here. As you know, I'm a YouTube partner, so I'm making some money from this. I'm making maybe like 1/4 of what I made at my salary job, and I don't know how long it can last. I'm trying my damnedest to keep it working. I'm putting 7 days a week into this channel, whether or not it be recording or editing or you know, looking over the YouTube analytics to see, oh, when's the best time I can upload videos so the most of you guys can see them without missing them, and you know, get the most views and things like that. And it, you know, there are people who do this for full-time jobs. Look at people like Total Biscuit, the Yogscast, sea nanners, so it's certainly something I'm trying to make work, and I'm going to take advantage of it for as long as it lasts. I mean, who knows? Maybe tomorrow Minecraft is just, everybody's going to lose interest in Minecraft, and nobody's going to get video views anymore, and that'll be the end of it. And I'd be happy with that. I'm having fun with this. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can and trying to make it work. But it just feels like this is something I'm more excited about. And I know I mentioned a while ago when I was doing that cutscene, that kind of cutscene at the end of that last, or it was 2 Kerbal Space Program episodes ago, where I made kind of I edited it so it looked like footage from Apollo 8. Like that really got me excited and energized about what I was doing. And that's something I never had with, the crappy job that I had that I didn't like at any point. So, I mean, it's those little moments, whereas going back to what BOO was saying, there's no easy money. True, but I guess you can say it's worth working really hard on something if it makes you happy, regardless of the... Oh, Wolfie, careful. Oh, God. Oh. Crushing the dog under the water. But yeah, there's no easy money, true, but if it's something you enjoy doing, that you love doing, that you have a passion for, then it doesn't matter how difficult it is, because it's a challenge, and it's a welcome challenge. It's something I didn't have. It wasn't challenging making website after website after website at my old job, even though it was like, that's why it was easy money, because there was no challenge to it. So I hope I'm making sense there. I tend to get off on really weird tangents and just start repeating myself over and over and over again, but I hope I'm making sense. And to follow up with what I was talking about being worth to society, obviously I'm sitting here playing video games for you guys, and you guys are enjoying it, and I really do enjoy, every once in a while I get a cool personal message or comment where somebody's saying, oh, I was really having a crappy day, and this funny video or whatever really turned my spirits around, and that really makes me feel good. Or even I get some messages from people who, oh, English isn't my first language, but I'm watching your videos because you're a really good speaker and you're helping me learn English. What was this word? So I'll do my best to respond to messages like that. Those really make me feel good. But on top of that, that's one of the reasons why I turned this Farlands or Bust into a walkathon for Child's Play charity. I like I said before, I've never personally been that much involved in charity or volunteer work, so I feel like I'm trying to make up for that. But also, in all honesty, I'm not a huge. I think I've mentioned this before too. I'm not a big kid person. I don't think I'm planning on ever having kids, and I don't particularly associate myself with them too often. I'm never going to be volunteering at the local preschool or anything like that. So. Maybe this is my way of kind of counteracting that by giving to Child's Play charity and having you guys give to Child's Play charity, going for these goals and hopefully helping, making a difference in some people's lives and kind of having that, I feel like I'm actually contributing to society. And that, for some people, that might not matter, and maybe they can just have a job where it's local, or it's just about doing what they do, and that's the end result, and they're happy with that, and that's perfectly fine if you're happy with it. But for me, I just feel like I need to have some sort of, and not to sound like selfish, like, ooh, I need to be a philanthropist and everybody has to love me because I'm giving to charity. But it's more of just, I'm not just existing to take up, the oxygen in the atmosphere. I'm doing something else. But yeah, and that, it's one of those weird things. I don't know. It's hard to put into words, and maybe that's why I get so flustered when I try talking about this. And I don't know, maybe I'm weird for that, I don't know. But I was going to talk about something else, now I forgot. Yeah, it's kind of tough, any of this advice. I'm no professional, and there's a lot of, I know on Lifehacker and all these other blogs, there's entire blogs dedicated to self-help and finding what you want to do with your life, and you can get kind of overwhelmed with that. My word of advice is, don't take career advice from astronauts. Just because, they've worked their asses off, obviously, to become astronauts, but and they've gotten their ultimate dream. But there's so many who haven't that it helps to have a little bit of the other side of the coin. And it's, those, I have obviously the utmost respect for astronauts and people who are successful. Ooh, hello? What is that? Oh, that's probably just clay. Is that just clay? What is that business? Yeah, I think that's clay. But yeah, it's back and forth, and certainly in the real world, it's not like you're not entitled to anything. You don't, just because you were lucky enough to be able to either live in a country that has public schools or go to a university or afford this or that doesn't mean you're entitled to be happy in your job. But if it's something you want to do and you're passionate about, you can certainly work at it, and it's going to take a long time. There's a lot of time and patience, but also a lot of hard work. You can't just sit there and have it fall in your lap. Because if you do, that's what would be called the CEO of an investment banking firm. And then you have the flip side of the coin where everybody hates you and you're a greedy bastard. And floating block of sand, you are so magical. Let's see if you fall if I do this. Whee! No. What if I update, like, the block next to it? Nope. A magical creature of awesomeness and granularity and sandiality. Oop. And whatnot-diality. Blech. But yeah, let's dig our final hidey hole here. Sorry if I was kind of, like I said, going off on tangents in this episode. I hope it makes a little bit of sense to you guys. I know a lot of you guys might be, or actually are, in like high school or college age, and I certainly hope I haven't confused any of you. But yeah, it's worth thinking about that. If you find something that you love doing, then you don't care how much you get paid for it, and you don't care how much work goes into it, because it makes you feel good, and what the hell else matters, You're on this planet for a limited amount of time. You might as well try to make the best of it, and I certainly hope, I know BOO was the one who kind of brought this topic up, for me anyway. He didn't ask me to comment on it or anything, I just felt like commenting on it myself. I certainly hope, whatever he ends up doing, it's something that makes him happy, and he's cool about that. Maybe he wants to, I know he's recently married, maybe he wants to concentrate on his family or whatnot, and that's cool too. So, BOO, good luck, and etc. and whatnot. And what am I doing? I'm building a bed. 2 beds, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to get more planks of wood. Running out of that stuff really quick. But there we go. Woof. Yeah, I know, this was a little bit of a departure for Farlands or Bust, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I had like notes and I was planning on talking about a lot of stuff, and I'm sure I missed a lot of it, but why don't you leave your comments in the comments below to let me know your thoughts on the matter. Keep things civilized, of course. We're going to have disagreements about the way things should be and the way things are, so I know that's a lot asking of YouTube comments to be civilized, but try your best, please. But yeah, anyway, this has been another episode of Farlands or Bust. Oh, let me actually take a couple seconds. I need to craft a new shovel. Let me do that. I guess I should get ready for this pickaxe to break. So I should do that. Of course, now I'm clodding up my inventory. There we go. Okay, yeah. So this has been Farlands or Bust. Like I mentioned early on in the episode, you can go on to farlandsorbust.com to contribute to our Child's Play charity fundraiser. Like I've been talking about all episode, it's a great charity to get behind for gamers. It's a great thing, so head on over, and thank you everybody who keeps contributing and who continues contributing and who will contribute in the future. Future thanks. But yeah, as the piano music plays us out, thanks so much for watching. My name is Kurt. Woof. I will see you next time.